Hi, everybody. Thank you for subscribing. And if you just happen to scroll by and find me and you like this, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and help me out. If you are one of those people who got so sick of social media that you got rid of your Twitter account, this would be a good time to check back in. Don't go on Truth Social, but a lot of the Trump stuff is showing up on Twitter. And here's the war between Trump and Elon Musk is escalating. And I'm gonna put my glasses back on. You're gonna get that glare again. I'm gonna read some of this to you, but I want to tell you, I think it'd be wrong and short-sighted and a mistake to think that this is just two egotistical, narcissistic, mentally ill goobers who are going after each other. And of course, this is entertaining. But as I've been saying here for a while, understand that there's always something else at play. Once you understand, and don't forget, I mean, I know you already know this, but don't forget, these guys work for Putin. They answer to Putin. Trump is in office because of Putin and then Elon Musk's help. And the deal was Trump stays out of prison and he gets to, take bribes and do whatever he wants. Putin doesn't care. All Putin wanted was Ukraine. And Elon Musk was there to help make sure that Trump got into office. He's out and out bragging now, saying that Trump would not be in office because of him. And I don't think it's because of his strategic advice. And all of a sudden, these guys are going after each other. So once you understand that it's about Ukraine and Putin controls everything, that is why this fight has happened. As I said, I think it was yesterday in a video, in the last couple of days, I've been making the point that because President Zelensky pulled off the most incredible military attack, it's just, again, epic proportions. This is a Tom Clancy movie. There will be a movie. This was unbelievable. They did it on $47,000 of cheap little drones that they put inside trucks and had, Russians unknowingly drive these trucks, just basic cargo trucks, I believe, into Russia, deep into Russia. But they were then able to open up the ceilings where these drones were hidden inside these trucks. And these drones attacked Putin's air fleet, the ones that have been dropping bombs, killing Ukrainians. Now, they did not go after personnel. Ukraine wasn't killing people. They were taking out the delivery system for the weapons that was giving Putin long-range capabilities. So this has humiliated Putin. It's also strategically a huge military loss for him because his air fleet was his big deal. And now it's been decimated. I think they took out 40 planes. And so he's humiliated. But here's the thing. Because Trump didn't know, because Trump failed Putin, remember, Trump's only job for Putin is to deliver Ukraine. And Trump failed on this. Now, the world doesn't trust Trump anymore. When you isolate yourself from the world, isolate the United States from the world, when you pretend you're negotiating, what you're really doing is just lying, cheating, stealing, threatening, giving ultimatums, screwing people over, embarrassing them whenever you can, basically doing the same thing Trump has done his whole life. That's not negotiating. That's not diplomacy. That's just being a thug. And what that means is the world doesn't trust you. And I think some in our IC community, I don't think he was able to get rid of all of them in our intelligence community, all the people who were loyal to the United States and to democracy and freedom. Some of them are still burrowed in there. And I think some of them knew because, again, the Zelensky plan for Ukraine to attack these Russian planes has been going on. They started about a year and a half ago when Biden was still president. Now, they knew to keep it from some people. And again, this wasn't really something they needed a lot of funding for. This attack was pulled off. The greatest military achievement was pulled off for, I think, less than the price of a Tesla. Isn't that great? So Putin is damaged and humiliated. Trump didn't do his job. And so I don't think it's an accident that Elon Musk is all of a sudden deciding that he really cares about waste and fraud in the government, or cuts in the budget and spending and upping the deficit and the debt. He doesn't care about that. Doge was a joke. He was spending more. It was costing more than he was pretending to save. He got what he needed out of it. The the agencies investigating his companies for his crimes and wrongdoing were all decimated. So all that went away. And he got more corporate welfare. He is the biggest welfare queen in the United States, the richest man in the world, but he gets a lot of your tax dollars, a lot. And the cuts are there to benefit him. So why is he all of a sudden pretending that he didn't know, what that this bill was going to bust the budget, going to be increasing spending? He knew, and he doesn't care about the cuts to Medicaid and Medicare. He already got what he wanted. So what's going on? I think this is, as I said yesterday in the video, this is part and parcel. The split is to take power from Trump and eventually escalate it so that they can push him aside and put in J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance will be better at achieving Putin's goals. All Putin knows is he went to all this trouble to install Trump in the White House twice, and they cheated. More on that here in a minute, which we've known. Come on, we've known. And all this stuff is coming out now, and it's not an accident. This is not an accident. So here's the thing. You've got Elon Musk now saying, Donald Trump, time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. Well, yes, we've known that. Come on. We've all known that. And when your MAGA asshat friends say, prove it, you don't have proof, you don't need that. We know. And actually there is proof. They just won't show it. That's why they're hiding it. And then you've got Trump saying the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it. Well, okay. So Trump thinks he's fighting back. Does Trump realize that he's also fighting Putin? There's a reason Trump has disappeared from sight in recent days. He's not afraid of Elon, but he's afraid of Putin. But he knows that Elon Musk and Putin are in contact all the time, and that if Elon is doing this to him, it's probably after, getting this strategized with Putin. And that is why Trump has to be scared. Again, he's not afraid of Elon Musk. He just knows that Elon Musk is working with Putin, and he is afraid of Putin. Elon Musk is now saying that Donald Trump would not have won the election without him. That clears up the mystery. Okay, we know this. His 4-year-old was saying on Tucker's show, we've got this, that got Starlink. We knew what was going on. And when you look at some of these numbers, you've got Wisconsin, Trump wins, but so did Tammy Baldwin. Michigan, Trump wins, but so did Elise Slotkin. Nevada, Trump wins, but so did Democrat Rosen. Arizona, Trump wins, but so did Democrat Gallego. North Carolina, Trump wins, but so did Democrat Stein. And in one New York district, that Democrat Senator Gillibrand got 75% of the vote, and Kamala Harris got 0. Come on, we've known this. The big mystery has been, why haven't Democrats been shouting about this from the beginning? Why did we not learn our lesson from 2016 when Hillary stepped back and didn't demand recounts? Okay, we knew better this time. But of course, Democrats didn't do a lot about Merrick Garland not doing his job either. So yes, Putin and Elon Musk cheated for Trump. Putin cheated for him in 2016, and they cheated for him in 2024. They also did in 2020. But remember, there was a whistleblower. I keep reminding you folks of this. There was a whistleblower that testified under oath that Karl Rove once told her that if a state is within 3 percentage points on election day, you can cheat undetected, but it has to be on election night. 1 vote per precinct, that sort of thing. Okay? Keep that in mind, because on election night, there is Trump had been told he basically lost the election because there's a secret, there's a media consortium that does exit polling. And the media consortium members are all these different major media. And they hold on to those results. A few people hold on to those results at 5 o'clock. Polls are still open around the country, but at 5 o'clock, they release it to the other members of the media consortium. And at 5:01, a guy by the name of Dave Blasto, I think his first name is Dave Blasto, calls up his good buddy at the Trump campaign, David Bossie. Blasto's first name is not David. I'm thinking of David Bossie, but the last name is Blasto. calls him up and said at 5:01 and said, "We got the exit polling. Looks like you guys lost." So he goes and tells everybody. Now remember, Manafort had illegally, sometime before that, given Kalimnik, which is the same as giving it to Putin, internal polling data. So Putin already knew where the weak points were and where to get set up on election night so that they could implement that Karl Rove plan. See where you needed to go in and do some tweaking while the polls were still open. Remember, it has to be done then. So, of course, Manafort got that information. Reince Priebus got that information. He was there. Reportedly, Donald Trump turned to Melania and said, "We lost." And over the course of the next few hours, strategically divided in like 1,000,000 to 1 chances that this could happen this way, 77,000 votes, perfectly distributed in 3 battleground states that Trump was losing, showed up and put him over the edge for the Electoral College. He still won. He won the Electoral College, but he still lost a popular vote by quite a lot. So at 5 o'clock, he's losing. They find out exactly where. And again, they already knew where to be set up. So that's twice where Putin probably would have gotten the polling data. And that's what I believe happened that night. And that is why Trump was in office. And again, Putin needed him solely for Ukraine. We are understanding this now. So that's how he won the first time. The second time they tried to do the same thing, but because so many people were voting by mail, because it was a pandemic, Trump's pandemic. So people were voting by mail, which is a paper ballot. You can't do the same shenanigans that you did in 2016, not at the scale that you needed to. You wouldn't even know where to go. So what do? They start ripping mailboxes out of heavy Democratic neighborhoods so that people couldn't mail them, particularly Black neighborhoods, so that people wouldn't be able to mail their votes as easily. Then when that didn't appear to be working, they panicked, and Louis DeJoy, Trump's guy, head of the post office, goes in and starts just arbitrarily, right before the election, dismantling $2 million a piece mail sorting machines so that the mail could not be sorted and votes could not be counted, those mail-in votes that they weren't able to cheat with because they weren't with the machines. So, yes, Putin cheated for Trump, and Putin and Musk cheated for Trump. Musk has all but admitted it. He's above the law. His kid admitted it. So we know this. We know this. The split now is not because Trump got tired of Elon Musk and pushed him out of the White House, although he probably tried. And it's not because Elon Musk is angry about that. It's not that Elon Musk really cares about the debt and the deficit and the spending. He doesn't. This happened after Trump failed to do his job for Putin and alert him to the coming attack. But since the world knows that Trump is in Putin's pocket, they're not going to tell him anything. So Trump is now no longer useful to Putin. And that's what this fight is about with Elon Musk and Trump. And unfortunately, my money is on Elon Musk and Putin. This will be happening. We've been saying for a while that we now know that we're not being controlled, that the U.S. is now being controlled by Putin and oligarchs, all kind of working together, and Putin's oligarchs in China. Yeah. So it would be folly to assume that we're in charge now. Now they're having this big, little girl slap fight. It's not just that. It appears to be that because they know that we love this stuff and this is how we respond, and we're idiots, and we think that anything that doesn't look real clean and normal like we'd have in our own life sounds like a tinfoil hat conspiracy. But for the people who are in this world and who have operated in this world, it's not a tinfoil hat conspiracy. Okay? Putin needs to take power away from Trump. Elon Musk is now in that camp of taking power away from Trump. They need J.D. Vance. And that's what I think is happening. So this little back and forth between Trump and Elon Musk is Trump fighting for his life and maybe still not accepting the fact that he's not the big, powerful guy he likes to pretend to be. At his heart, he's an insecure loser, and he knows it. He knows that he's not capable of being president. He knows he's never gotten anything in his life without lying, cheating, and stealing, and threatening, and beating people up, and having people harmed, maybe killed. Remember, Megyn Kelly once said, of course, now she's walked it back as she's decided that her bread is buttered on a different side. But she once said that she felt that she suspected that Trump had her poisoned the day of the debate that she was going to be moderating, because somebody at Fox News had let him know that she was planning on going hard on him, that she was now going to go after him for his misogyny and some comments he'd made about women. He finds out about it. He calls her and he says, I hope you're going to be fair to me, kind of like a threat. And then she gets violently ill, and she suspected something was put in her coffee. I think something like that happened to Joe Biden, and I don't think it was just the night of that debate. I think there was, remember, Trump had infiltrated the Secret Service. They were loyalists to him. They knew that, and Biden got rid of some of got his old Secret Service back. There was shenanigans with Jill Biden's Secret Service, and we know what happened on January 6th. All those text messages are gone. And we know that the Secret Service did an advanced sweep at the DNC and around the DNC when then Vice President-elect Kamala Harris was making a scheduled but non-public visit to the DNC, which means the only people who knew she was going to be there was really the Secret Service. And they missed a pipe bomb, right? Especially on a high alert day like that. So it would make sense that the Secret Service would have a way of occasionally doing something that would make Joe Biden appear to be off his game or befuddled. Because remember, when it wears off, like a few hours after that debate, he was at a pancake house or something. He was normal and articulate, the Joe Biden that we know. But you have people saying that here and there he wouldn't be. So yeah, I think it's really possible somebody on the inside was occasionally doing something to him, as Megyn Kelly suspected was being done to her. And we know that Vladimir Putin poisons his critics and opponents. So anybody that thinks this sounds like tinfoil hat conspiracy theories, you know what? If this was 10 years ago, I'd agree with you. But it's time that we all understand what's going on. Just study the Holocaust and how Hitler came to rise into power. Study Vladimir Putin and what he's done to people. It is important to be able to connect the dots, even if the dots are like, whoa. But to just accept that this little back and forth between Trump and Elon Musk is just, ooh, two egos, look at them going after each other. Isn't that funny? That would be naive. That would be naive. It's happening for a reason, and the reason is Putin. Because President Zelensky, Ukrainian President Zelensky, succeeded in an absolutely brilliant, cunning, strategic David and Goliath military strike that hurt Putin, embarrassed Putin, humiliated Putin, and Putin is blaming Trump. So Putin no longer needs Trump. Putin needs Trump out, and Elon Musk appears to be helping him do that. And I don't care. People say, oh, Sherry, that just sounds too stupid and silly. No, it doesn't. Not if you piece together everything over the past 10 years in this era of Trump, and as long as you know some things about Trump before that, and if you know some of the things he did to me in 2015 and 2016. And there was an FBI investigation that he was able to have shut down once he got in office. So I have some firsthand knowledge of what he can do. And that was just on such a small scale. So yes, this is what I think is happening. Anybody who thinks that this is just Elon Musk suddenly caring about spending and not liking Trump and getting his feelings hurt, that's being a little bit naive. So stay tuned.